Jedi Survivor is a pretty awesome Star Wars game, but it also helped me realize I'm probably never gonna buy a AAA game day one. Ever again. No, Survivor doesn't commit the sin of heavy monetization outside of the silly deluxe and standard versions, but it did commit the other common gaming sin of the day. It shipped incomplete. The game not being optimized to run properly on every platform it's available on is inexcusable. I should have waited 6 months to a year. I would have had the same great experience. I would have played the same great game, but they would have gotten a fraction of my money. Welcome to the Potato Backlog Project. Currently, I'm playing through my 431 game backlog, allowing myself $5 per completion to go towards new game purchases, and Star Wars Jedi Survivor is the first game purchase of the year for me under my new project rules. Make sure you stick around to the end of the video for the Tater Raider, and let's get into it. I needed to preface the video the way I did because finally playing through my old games has shown me that good games stay good, no matter when you play them. My own impatience helping to continue fuel bad business practices isn't the way I want to operate these days. With that being said, let's chat about the game, the good, the bad, what I thought about the overall experience. Performance and polish, the game needed more time to cook. Even the argument of different PC configurations being hard to release doesn't fly for me. Dead Island 2 recently released, and from everything I've read and seen, it runs excellent on PC and consoles, so kudos to those guys for getting it right the first time. I played Jedi Survivor on Xbox Series S, and outside of some frame drops in the saloon area, the game ran pretty well for me overall. There were some graphical glitches and texture loading issues from time to time, but nothing that felt game breaking and nothing that took me out of the experience or felt debilitating in any way. I always felt like I was in control and everything was responsive and fun for me. I know that hasn't been everybody's experience. I can only share my experience. Jedi Survivor doesn't really break any new ground here from its predecessor Fallen Order, but what it does do is take what they built in Fallen Order and improve on almost all of it. Fast travel alone is one of the most welcome new features. It's a must-have in this type of game, and its omission from the first game was a big sore spot for me. The map is much easier to use, see, and understand this go around. There's a handy-dandy line that shows the path you've been recently running. New areas, doors, and potential paths are easier to see, so exploring for completion isn't as frustrating this go around. You start the game with all the Jedi powers you learned in the first game. The main character Cal doesn't wake up from some coma needing to relearn how to double jump. There wasn't some disaster that happened in between games that has you needing to retrain old abilities or reconnect with the Force. This can be a common flaw and time waster in some sequels, but I'm happy to report they respect what came before in this game and you hit the ground running. Lightsaber stances are a big focus in Jedi Survivor. There are 5 in total in the game. Each one feels unique and offers different ways to enjoy the combat in the game. My one wish here is that you could have equipped more than 2 of them at the same time. Being able to cycle through all 5 at will would have been awesome and made a lot more sense to me. The lightsaber stances are combined with survival and force power skill trees to round out your leveling options. There's a lot of fun stuff to unlock here that helps cater to the way you want to play the game. The combat itself is fun, challenging, and engaging. There's a lot of creative freedom given to the player and how you can approach the different fights. The animations all look awesome and cool, and it straight up feels fun to play. Without spoiling anything for you, there aren't a ton of games I complete and then start playing again immediately. This is one of those games. There's a new game plus mode, which is always welcome in this style of game, and the feeling of being a Jedi in this game, the powers, the abilities, the lightsaber stuff, it might be the best version of it in any Star Wars game. I really enjoyed the story presented here. If you played the first game or you're a Star Wars fan at all, there's a ton to love about it. Cal Kestis is turning into a great character in the Star Wars universe, and I'm really excited to see what's next for him. They jam-packed a ton of collectibles to find in each of the areas that allow you to customize Cal's look, your droid companion, your lightsaber. It was very welcome to see all of these customizations and collectibles tied to the gameplay and not to any extra money. If you search for stuff and played the game, you were rewarded, and that's the way it should be. Everything's self-contained. I really wish this game would have been in better shape at launch. It's a massive W for EA to be pulling back on some of its monetization practices of the past, and I really want to see more of it in the future. But companies need to start finishing their games before they release them. It's an all too common trend these days, and too many gamers give them a pass, give them forgiveness, and make excuses. There are no excuses for it. 3 happy potato faces out of 5 in the game's current state. This is an easy 5 for me if the game would have come out and worked properly on all the platforms it was made available on. I loved this game, but as it currently stands, I can't recommend you going and paying full price to play the game now. You're better off waiting for a sale, waiting a few months, waiting a year. The game will get patched, the experience will only be better, and you'll pay them a fraction of the cost. Thanks for watching and supporting the channel. Check the links below for the full 431 game backlog list. Be kind to yourselves and others that deserve it. We're on to the next one. Let's go. I'm currently make up words all the time. I make up words and I throw them in the bloopers.